Well, hello there, everybody. So, this is the first time I've ever gone live on YouTube Live. And there's a couple of exciting things that's happening to me at this time as we speak. And one of the most exciting things I have to say is the fact that I'm expanding my social presence. One of the things I'll be doing is going to be by starting my own podcast. Probably start out slow, do it once a week. Um, in Afrikaans as well as in English. So some of the topics we'll discuss and cover on there will be pretty much this time of turmoil that we are facing right now with the coronavirus being as severe and as ridiculous as it is. The world has been turned upside down. A lot of people are affected by it. I mean, pretty much the whole world's being affected by it, which is in a way very, very sad. And also, in retrospect, it is sad that we are losing focus on some of the other issues that's facing the world, like hunger. The regular flu has killed more people since this whole corona thing has been taken as far as it has by the mainstream media. And it kind of just reminds us that there's so much more out there, guys. There's so much more we can do, so much more we can be as individuals. It just takes people caring about other people. So, with that being said, some of the topics that we'll cover on the podcast here coming shortly, and I'll probably do an episode on each of these topics. So, I've planned out maybe 20 some topics that we'll be talking about. Highlighting a few again. What do we do with all our free time during this COVID-19 saga? Things to do, helpful things, fun things, just anything to do, really. I apologize for that, but my phone is just going to go onto silent here for a minute while I'm talking to you guys. The world's caught up in Corona. Who would have ever thought that? Me as a child, I knew about some serious diseases and ailments that affected the whole world. But nothing that had the attention of the mainstream media and the general public as bad as this has. So, the conspiracy theorists are going crazy already, stating that Corona was the Chinese way of pretty much just getting into the inner ranks of the American public, stating that companies have designed a antidote or a cure that will be injected into humans, and that causing the 5G network to be able to track us by way of just our blood, and the nanoparticles that's going to be injected in our blood. Then, you got the Democrats just constant mudslinging at the president. You have Republicans that can't sit next to a Democrat without that causing an itch or a rash. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, there are people in dire need of help, and there's people in dire need of us supporting them if we can. There's pages that are taking donations as we speak. One of those pages I've actually supported myself, and I donated $20 to the First Responders Children's Fund out in New York, who's helping first responders to get the aid they need and the equipment they need and stuff like that in order to fight this thing on the front lines. It's affecting everybody. Businesses have closed down. I personally have friends who used to work in the service industry as waiters and waitresses that haven't made a paycheck in close to a month now. And, there's relief coming. It should be going into bank accounts this week as the president signed more than $2 trillion of relief help. Part of that going towards businesses, large and small, and part of that going into the regular end user's pocket, people that haven't been making paychecks. Now, it's not a lot, but it is going to help and ease some of that issues. I have been lucky. I haven't been affected by that per se, as I'm in the transportation business, meaning that I've been dubbed as part of essential services since we have trucks and transport that has to be moved, cargo that needs to get to places, foods, stuff like that. So for that, I'm thankful. I can't say that has been the case for a lot of my friends, a lot of my family. I mean, the lockdown, you think about that. And one of the things is it's one of the worst things that could have probably happened during an election year for both this country and other countries that are facing elections this year. Definitely not the kind of publicity you would want as a sitting president or as someone who's running for president, because it doesn't matter how you spend it, it's a bad situation. So I don't think the queue is as close as they say. I also don't believe that we completely far away from it, but it's obviously a tender subject, and I pray for everybody that is directly and indirectly affected by this. So with that being said, South Africa is in a total lockdown, has been for 21 days, and then the president extended it again. Most of my family hasn't been able to work down there, haven't been able to leave the house unless it's for groceries, I believe. So that's one of the reasons that I felt that now is the best time to actually start a podcast discussing the little to the big things. It's not going to be a political necessarily themed podcast. It's more going to be a lifestyle and entertainment channel, same as this YouTube channel, which I'm still constantly trying to grow. So if you like what you see, please go and subscribe, guys. Please go and like the channel. It definitely helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps me to gain traction in order to do the podcasts and do the editing and take time out of my day, just like any other individual, to actually make this channel a success. So just know that I appreciate every single one of you, whether you're watching or this live or afterwards as a recording. Another thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about on this channel, as well as on the podcasts, is the effects that all this staying at home orders and lockdowns and all this craze in the media about celebrities dying. You don't hear about the regular guy down the street that passed away. They're just a number on a page, but then somebody dies of note, and all of a sudden it becomes a big media thing. Other than that, you don't see about John and Jill, who just lost a family member to this disease. So that's kind of sad to me. The oil prices have gone way down. Last time I checked, we were at $21 a barrel. Let's see where we're at right now. $22.85. We've come up just a little ways, but I mean, it's not even close to getting us out of the woods yet to where we were just a couple of weeks ago. The economy pretty much tanked. Lowest economy that we've seen since 2009's crash. 2008 to 9 crash. That's pretty rough. That's pretty heavy. I don't care who you are. It's a pretty bad deal. I don't know how we're going to get back from that. There's definitely plays in motion. The people really trying to make this thing work. But as far as I know, I haven't really been seeing the results. You got travel bans to and from the States. Pretty much every country out there, out of 240 some countries, I think 90% of them have travel bans. The president signed into, like I said, the relief packages into law, giving people the needed assistance that they so desperately need to feed their families. So for that, I thank our president of the United States. I know that in South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa has done a great deal to actually help our South African public to recover from this, because they haven't even been allowed to leave the house unless it is for groceries. The military's been deployed there for the better part of 20 days now. And I do know of people who said that whenever they would encounter the military, they would turn them around and threaten them with citations and even jail time if they didn't comply. So hopefully this thing does blow over. sooner rather than later, and that we can get back to normal. Now, a lot of people would ask you, what is normal? And obviously, we never thought that this would be the new normal. We're pretty quick to judge, and we're pretty quick to forget, and we're pretty quick to say, no, this won't happen to us, and look at where we are, a couple months in. So hopefully the light is closer than we think. We got taxes that was just done. I just did my taxes about a week ago. That at this time of year, normally, with April 15th being the deadline as per normal, you'd have people just clamoring into all the tax service companies like H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt and those places that set up little pop-ups in Walmart. And this year it's just dead. There's just nobody there. Most people have opted to go and do their taxes online. And they obviously have extended the tax deadline in the US to, I want to say, July 15th. So that's going to give some relief to those people. Or maybe it was June 15th. But since I've already completed my tax return for the year, it's probably not that important for me to note. Other things we're looking at, themes and topics that I'll be talking about, is freedom of speech, or in my mind, almost a lack of freedom of speech. As a regular civilian, you would think that we are allowed our First Amendment right to say what we like and say what we do not like, and say what we even are not sure if we like or dislike. However, it's turned into a whole political head race lately that, as an example, Democrats would feel that they have the right to freedom of speech. But in the same token, you see them eliminating the Republican side freedom of speech, which to me, if freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but they claim racism right off the bat, it's almost as me saying that, that's all good and well that we have freedom of speech, and I'm a proponent and someone that promotes freedom of speech, but then say, but you can't say what you think, or that I take offense as soon as you say something. That to me is kind of crazy. I don't see the whole point of that. I don't see how that helps people either, where the Democrats can say, or the left can say that we're being racist, or, they speech and they're a big, promoter of that, and then come and cut us when we're trying to have a normal discussion. Kind of ridiculous how that's down right now. I think the sense of entitlement in this country and the rest of the world with liberalism has kind of got out of hand a little bit. I'm a conservative myself. But I do have a liberal outlook, because I do see that the need for advancement is there, and the need to treat people fairly is there. Who claims that they are the ones promoting it are not practicing it themselves. That makes them nothing but a hypocrite. So that's a discussion we'll have on here. As I said, it almost feels like a lack of freedom of speech. There's racism, there's xenophobia, there's all these things out there that I don't know how the world is ever going to come back from something as heavy hitting as this and as hard hitting as this. My only hope is that we can. And when we do, that it actually turns out to be a good thing. So that and more coming up. That same topic, touching on that, an eye for an eye. It feels like whatever you can do, I can do better. We need to step away from that. We kind of need to let that go. And then it sounds like companies like Bill Gates' foundation and places like that has come up with the miracle cure for coronavirus. That's a topic on its own. It sounds like the main ingredient for this said miracle cure could be something that is activated by the 5G telephone network. With those nanoparticles running in your veins, you may be susceptible to be tracked with a GPS location on the 5G network. So we'll talk about that in some more detail. I have to do my research first before I dive into most of these topics, and I feel that on the YouTube channel, along with my podcasting, along with my social media platforms, which is TikTok, Facebook, I have Instagram, and I have Twitter, I do feel that we'll be able to make a difference of note with the community that supports me and the people that love and help me. So for that, I want to say thank you to you all. Please stay tuned. Please stay safe. Don't be a cowboy. Don't go out unless you have to go to get groceries or get your kids, to medical care or stuff like that. Don't hang out, kind of social distance, practice safe social distancing, and we'll get through this. And, that'll be a good time to celebrate the past when we got through it. But don't be a cowboy right now. Again, please subscribe if you haven't yet. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Like the videos, that also helps. And invite your friends to subscribe. Let's create a community. I'll have my 9-year anniversary in the United States on April 18th this year, which is in about 5 days. And come celebrate that with me. I just actually donated $20 to the fund, like I told you, the First Responders Children's Fund out of New York. And I left the link down below. So feel free, guys, go and support these guys. They're doing an awesome job. The money's not going to me, it's going to them. And spread the word, spread the love. Share this. Share it with every single person you know. Let's get some traction on this channel. My goal is to make 1,000 subscribers this year and monetize this channel. And with that, I'll be able to do a lot more good on this channel to help more people and discuss more topics. So I will add my podcasting link in the next video. At this point, it's not active yet because I haven't actually created my first podcast. But with that being said, again, guys, don't be a stranger. Come see me soon. And I thank you for your time. Take care. God bless. Bye.